Hey, what's up everybody? My name's Logan. I play cymbals, and I am here to make what I think will become several videos about just how to play cymbals in the marching aspect, and just have a very firm grasp of how to play cymbals, because I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube that are just ridiculous and awful about how to play cymbals, and I want to really lay down what I consider my technique and how to make, dispel lots of myths that cymbals are stupid and that they can't really be badass. This past summer, I marched with Spirit. I marched cymbals 2010, and this year I'll be marching with Rhythm X in 2011. So I think I know what I'm talking about when it comes to cymbals. So this first one is just covering the set position, and then all of our different ports, which will be horizontal, or some people call it orchestral, and vertical, and then just set. And I'll also go over taps, taps down here, or what some people might call taps, and then up here, which some people might call dings or tings. But first, let's start with set. You're going to have cymbals are always parallel. They need to be an extension of your hands, so you need to know where your cymbals are at all times. They need to be parallel. You can see in the video a bit closer. Make sure that your cymbals are parallel, and that you can see there's a little bend in my arm. We're not doing vanguard, we're not way back here, but you want to have some bend in the arm, not straight, just a little bend. You're always using muscle, always using muscle. Same with right arm, left arm, and feet. However, your group does feet, but chin is, if your chin's up parallel right here, you're going to want your chin a little bit higher, and that's where your chin needs to be. You need to portray confidence and arrogance. So your arms are always a bit flexed right here at this angle, heads up, chest is out, like you're ready to kick some ass. This is what you call set position. Here's a profile view of it. So you're at set, and from here you can go anywhere you need to. Go wherever it calls. And set is just where you're always going to start. So things to remember about set: remember how your cymbals are aligned with each other. They need to be right about your pockets. If I was going to put my hand in my pocket, that's where I'd put my cymbals, right there. See that? My hand in my pocket. And you can tell with my cymbals, if you're ever wondering what size cymbal should fit you, honestly, it should be about 2 inches away from your elbow. These are 19s. They're a little too short on me, I think, but I can really flip pretty fast. I marched 20s this whole past summer, and that was a good fit, honestly, and they suck, but they did fit. I'm kind of lanky, so 20s fit me better, but I like these 19s just because they feel really good. So let's set. The next position we'll go over is orchestral, or what some people call horizontal. Yeah. Computer. Okay. Right's going to be over left, and you can see the spacing between my cymbals is about inch and a half all around. And the angle here, if this is 0, then we're going for pretty much a straight up 45. You can see what that looks like on all sides. Now from here we can do a bunch of different implements or sounds, which I'll do in another video. But this is just talking about ports. And this is orchestral or horizontal. Now this is a great position to show off your confidence and just use muscle. The bottom cymbal should just be slightly above your belly button. That's where it should lie. So if you were to pull it in, it should sit just above your belly button. So the right one would be even higher, since it's about an inch and a half above. That's where that cymbal needs to sit. And you got to make sure that they're not sitting off the side of your body. It's a really big tendency for people who haven't played for a while to put them off to the side of their body. And it's like, if you're watching them and you see a line of cymbals and you see one person doing this, it just looks bad, and you can just tell. So right in the middle from your set, pushing up to pushing up the horizontal. Yep. Now one tendency is to not push your pinkies and your bottom flares out. Push that pinky. And you should be good all around. Next position is vert. This is just what it says, vertical. Knots or bells should be at eye level. Eye level. You can see that. Arms, the kind of angle This is 90, 0. I guess it's about a 45, I'm not exactly sure. But it looks like I'm not being weak. Looks like I really know what I'm doing over here. That's one thing about cymbals. No one really knows what you're doing as long as you look like you know what you're doing. Right at this nice angle. And you gotta make sure that they are nots are eye level. That's one big thing that will just tear you apart. Is when people look at you and they can just see that you're just weak. I mean, I'll walk away from a cymbal line if you can't hold them up. It just doesn't look good. So you're up here. From here you can do whatever kind of crashes you need to, whatever, and sizzles, whatever you got, doesn't matter. So this is your vert. Same with orchestral or horizontal. None of this body posture should change. Whenever you're holding up for a while, tendency is to lean back. You gotta avoid that. Gotta avoid that. It causes back problems, and you just look bad. You just look weak, and that's not what we're about when we play cymbals. We're about looking strong and being badass. A little bit of a forward presence when you're at vert, just to counteract it. The next two positions are kind of similar. We'll go up here. If you go up to your vert position, and then you just go out to an A, and then overlap the right over left, this is your taps position, or your like dings, and that's all it is pretty much. One big thing here is do not flare out here. You got to keep your pinkies pushed in. That way you're not showing your knots to the crowd. Don't want to show your knots to the crowd. It's just something you don't do. It looks bad. So go to A, overlap, and then I'm good to go. Down here for taps, not orchestral. Come in. Now all tops and bottoms of the cymbals are touching my body, so for effective muting. And the right's going to overlap again. You can play taps, punches, or spanks, or whatever the hell you want. And these are pretty much the main positions or ports for playing any kind of implements for cymbals. Check out my other videos, and I'll show you how to play different sounds and implements, and even how to do some really cool visual stuff.